look out the door. Window door. Say hello to him. Yeah. I was very poorly timed. I'm not saying hello to the man out the window walking his dog. I'm saying hello to you. This is new. This is a new way I'm going to be wrapping up my reading this month. So we'll see how it goes in July. Already I'm not convinced this is how I'm going to do it going onwards, because I think it's going to be weekly wrap-ups, which I think might be a bit much. Particularly sometimes I don't do any reading in a week. That's not necessarily true, because this year my reading's been... I've just finished my 110th book of the year, and we're only just halfway through the year, so yeah. It's Friday, I've just got home from work, and I finished Leave the World Behind by Rumam Alam. This was one that I said in my TBR I'd be finishing pretty hippity quickly, because oh yeah, don't let the cat out, don't let Minnie out, because I was, she's very naughty, isn't she? Because I only had less than 100 pages left of this, and I finished it today. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4 stars. This is a book about a family who go on holiday, Amanda Clay and their 2 children, Rosie and... what's the boy called? Oh wow, I can't believe I don't remember that. Oh well, and the boy, yeah. And they go on holiday to a house outside of the city. It's got a pool. They're there to relax. They're there to sort of just take some time out from their lives. And on their 2nd or 3rd night there, an elderly couple turn up and say that this is their house that they've let out to this family, and that there's been a blackout in the city, and they didn't know where else to go, so they've come here. So already you're sort of put on edge because of that. But what I will say about this is that the tension built in this was just amazing. I almost don't really want to sort of tell you the devices that they use, because if you're going to read this for the first time, then those sort of really unedged me. Is unedged a word, David? Put me on edge. They really put me on edge, and I feel like if you're coming to this for the first time, I don't want to ruin that for you. So if you care about that sort of thing, go away, and I promise I'll say come back when you can come back. So some of the things they do. So after this blackout that's happened, there's a lot of suspicion between the 2 couple, the 2 families, like, oh, is it okay if we stay here? And like, I thought that that's what the book was going to be about, but really something bad has happened. There's no actual sort of resolution, or we're being told what's happened throughout the book, which is why I gave it 4 stars, because yeah, just not enough resolution there for me. But a couple of points during this book, there's an extremely loud noise from the sound from the skies, which Amanda and somebody else refers to as, like, they refer to the fact that they've heard of sound being used as a weapon before. So it's that sort of like intrusive sound, and it cracks windows, it cracks a bath in another house, and yeah, so like there's this bad things happening. There's deer that are sort of gathering together to mass leave where they are. There's a flock of flamingos that turn up one night in the pool, and there's some weird sort of like illness stuff going on. But also throughout the book, one of the sort of devices used, I guess, is that they refer to things that would be in their normal lives and how they've sort of got completely fucked up. So for instance, Amanda, the woman in this, is saying about how she'll do some washing here at the house because otherwise she'll have to go to the laundromat when she goes home. And in the book it says, but what she doesn't realise is that the guy that owns the laundromat has been stuck in a lift for 14 hours, and he'll be stuck in there for many more days until his body is discovered dead. So you know that bad shit is going on everywhere, but there's nothing really like you're not really given any like solid details on it. So it all was just sort of, you can come back now. So it was all very, very tense and very, very impressive. I was very impressed by this. And yeah, I would definitely be looking at more of Rumam Alam's writing. So that is the first book that I've read in the month of July. Very much enjoyed it. Very much enjoyed it. David and I are going to his mum and dad's tonight for dinner. I'm hoping, David, because the weather was supposed to be rubbish today, wasn't it? And it's been lovely. Yeah. Maybe a little bit too hot for David and I, but I'm hoping we might get some sitting outside in the garden time with your mum and dad's. What do you reckon?
We might do.
But I've only got 31 minutes of my audiobook left, and to be honest, I'd rather just have it done with. I've listened to a little bit this afternoon while I was at work, and yeah, I think maybe I would like that to be finished. So I think you probably will see me before we go to David's mum and dad's, because I want to get that wrapped up. So I'm going to go and get in the shower and get something might put a nice dress on or something, David, seeing as we're going out for dinner.
All right.
And yeah, hopefully you'll see me then as I talk about what I think of my audiobook. But actually, I should use this opportunity to say what I'm going to read next. Minnie's going wild, isn't she? I think before I start anything else, I'm going to finish the other book that I'd started in June, and that's Heartberries, a Memoir by Therese Marie Malhot. So that's where I'm going to go to next. But yeah, 4 stars for Leave the World Behind. Enjoyed it. You're just in the little crease of this, David. Do you mind?
Of course not.
I've just, as I thought I would. Oh God, I mean, David, look, why can't I just do eye makeup? I did some beautiful pink, some yellow eyeliner because I thought it would go nice with this dress and also look a little bit like Mr. Blobby, and you know I like Mr. Blobby, and it's all just fucking merged together like one shit show.
Oh dear.
Oh dear. Anyway, as I thought, I've just finished Lives Like Mine by Eva Verde, which I listened to on audio. I don't really know what drew me to this because it's not normally my type of thing. It's a book about motherhood, really, and a woman who has an affair with somebody she meets at school, and also the fact that she is black. Well, she's half Trinidadian, and she hasn't got a very good relationship with her mother because of history, basically, in terms of something that happened to her when she was at school. And yeah, now I was quite into it the more I listened to it. So by the end I was a lot more in. Oh God, look, I've just read it again. What can I do to stop these bits doing? I just have to look down all the time, looking down. Yeah, so I was quite into it as it went on. What I will say though is that the guy she had an affair with, I just didn't really believe it. Having not had an affair myself. David, have you ever had an affair on me?
Oh, just a couple of times. I'm used to it now.
He's used to it, but like, I don't know what that feels like, but it felt very insta-lovey. It didn't feel, and then they were always saying about how happy they made each other, but everything was always so fraught. So I didn't truly believe in the old affair, but then I haven't had an affair myself, so I don't quite know how it works. I know how this works though, because it keeps bloody smudging. Maybe if I put a bit of, what do you reckon if I put hairdryer on it, David? Do you think that will do the trick?
I mean, I'm very well known how to resolve that, and I think that will work.
Yeah, you're very well known.
Yeah.
I've seen them do this on Love Island, but with eyelashes. Let's see if that does anything. So yeah, so I found aspects of it. I thought the delivery of it, the audio was narrated by, I don't know if it says on here. I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. It just says who it's by. Someone who was very, very good. And I don't know if the author is a poet or something, but there was definitely a lot of sort of like some of the delivery and some of the way the lines were written and stuff was very powerful and very sort of like but, and I enjoyed it. So yeah, I gave it 3 stars. Would I recommend it to others? I don't know, I guess if you like that type of book. Oh, also I should say that there was a lot of, I didn't mention the fact that I said she was half Trinidadian, but so her, the guy that she's married to, she suffers a lot of microaggressions and sometimes just fucking aggressions from his family, so that was very interesting. Also like quite hard to read, especially as you're hearing from her perspective and her frustration, and having mentioned this to her husband before and being told, oh, you're just overthinking it, you know what he's like, that's what his generation are like, blah blah blah. So I found those bits really interesting. So there was very many layers to it, but yeah, I gave it 3 stars. And I've got this dress on that I bought. It's a new dress, and it's from Journey Clothing, and I thought it was quite sort of, would you say this is like retro tablecloth, David?
Well, I'd say it's much nicer than a tablecloth.
It's much nicer than a tablecloth, so yeah. I'm just going to finish putting off a bit of mascara, and then I think maybe we'll go to your mum and dad's. What do you reckon, David? Hello, happy Saturday. It is 1:45 on Saturday. Normally David and I do our chores on a Saturday morning, but we actually went out early-ish this morning to go to a local, well, I called it food market, but it was really raining and there weren't much market stalls going on, but it was actually near where my nan lives, so we went to a little cafe and got some cakes, and David got a milkshake and I had a chai latte. I walked around to my nan's, took her a bit of bread and butter pudding. I can't eat that, I'm on a diet, she says, whether or not she'll eat it. And yeah, just went around there and then went to Tesco's, got some cat litter, etc, etc. So it is now 1:45 and chores are about to take place. We split the chores into, we've got 6 rooms in the house, we do 3 rooms each. I've just said to David, what rooms don't you want to do? And I've ended up with the kitchen and both the bathrooms, which I'm quite happy about because that's not much hoovering. And hoovering's my worst, but bathrooms is David's worst. So really, we just match made in heaven for each other. But whilst I will be doing the cleaning, I'm going to start listening to a new audiobook. So I've just downloaded The Secret Diary of a British Muslim, aged 13 3/4 by Tez Ilyas. Tez is a stand-up comedian. I'm not aware of his comedy, but it came up on my Audible recommends, probably because I've been looking at sort of some, after quite enjoying Ramesh Ranganathan's autobiography, I've been looking for those, and I think maybe that's why it was recommended to me. But it sounds like it's gonna be really good. It's set in the 90s in Blackburn, and it's about sort of class and race and religion and stuff, and it's done by a comedian, so I think I'm gonna really like it. It's 9 hours and 5 minutes long. So yeah, I'm going to download it now and start listening to it. But whilst I'm here, before I do start listening to it, also I've been a member of Audible for many years, and they've always done a few podcasts and things like that, but the majority of my podcasts I listen to on Apple. I don't know what that's even called, like just my podcast app. But the podcasts on Audible at the moment are so good. I've been really enjoying. Here is a list of the very few I've been, the very many I've been enjoying. The Graham Norton Book Club, which I've been very much enjoying, is Graham Norton, who's a TV host in the UK. He's an Irish chap, and he's also written a few books. Every week he has a panel of people that discuss a book that they've recommended, and they also have an author on, and it's just a really nice bookish podcast to listen to. Very Modern Quests, which is a bit like a sort of pick your own adventure book, but done as a podcast and done as a story, and it's also got comedians on it, so it has comedians doing modern things. So for example, the last one I've listened to is Joe Lycett going on a stag do, and yeah, I've just very much enjoyed all of those. People Just People by Dermot O'Leary, that's him interviewing people, and a few people that some of the ones that I've enjoyed on there have been Oti Mabuse, really enjoyed that, Claudia Winkleman, Martin Freeman was on there, David Schwimmer, very much enjoyed that, Jessie Ware, June Sarpong, so that's been very good. Oh, the first episode is Olivia Scott and Andrew Coleman, so that's really good. Then I've also been listening to, I've listened to 2 episodes of Coupledom with Idris and Sabrina Elba. They are a married couple. Idris Elba, Heart Eyes, is an actor from the UK. He's in a lot of UK stuff. Is it The Wire he's in? David's got his headphones in, he won't be able to hear me. And it's him and his wife interviewing couples. So the first couple they interview are Nadia Hussain and her husband. Nadia won the Great British Bake Off a few years ago. And then I've just listened to the episode where they interviewed the founders of Ben & Jerry's. So I'm very much enjoying that. 2 more, we're almost there, but people always ask me what I've been listening to, and if you've got Audible in the UK, these are all things I would recommend. Tom Allen's Room of Gifts. Tom Allen is a comedian. There's a lot of comedy stuff going on here, and he has 3 fellow comedians or TV presenters come in and talk about gifts that they've been given that they do not like, or rubbish gifts that they've been given, and then at the end of it they all get to pick whose gift was the most rubbish and whose gift they can put into the room of gifts. That's really funny. And then the last one is Phil Wang Hates Horror. Phil Wang, also a comedian, hates horror movies, and this podcast is him watching horror movies that fellow comedians have recommended him, and then dissecting it, talking about his favourite parts, talking about the worst parts, etc, etc. Listen to a few episodes of that. David and I have been listening to that together actually, and we've been enjoying that. We've listened to Ed Gamble, where they watched Nightmare on something, Nightmare on Elm Street, and then Rose Matafeo, where they watched It, the more recent one. So yeah, David and I also hate horror. So yeah, so there are some recommendations of podcasts that I've been listening to. I will list them all down below. They're all available through Audible, so if you've got Audible, then definitely try those out. But yeah, for the meantime, on to The Secret Diary of a British Muslim, aged 13 3/4. Let's do it. And I also bought some peonies, which I'm going to put in a vase now.
I've read by the generation of Asians who grew up in the 60s and 70s. And so I've written about people who wanted to look back at what it was like in the 90s. And I wanted people to know about the struggles. Things on how to people who come from where I come from. And that while setbacks and drama are a part of life, it will define us. And, actually, my life was kind of interesting. And it seemed like the best way to take you into that world is through a book. I've always lived my childhood through.
Just got out the shower, it's Sunday, and I've finished Heartberries, a memoir by Therese Marie Malhot. It's always a shame, isn't it, when you finish something that you know is very, very beloved and very, very dear and effective to other people. Now, this is a memoir, which I also find hard to review when I'm giving... I mean, this isn't a bad review, it's 2 stars, guys. But because it's someone's lived in experiences, I always feel sort of a bit bad reviewing it. But for me, the writing didn't work. It felt the same as when I read the Derek Owusu earlier this year, wasn't this month, last month, which is also a memoir told in fragments. It felt very fragmented, as did this. And I thought, as I said, earlier, I said, oh, I'm gonna see if I can dedicate some like, just time to it rather than reading a little bit here, reading a little bit there, because I felt like that's what it deserved and that's what it needed for me to enjoy it. But yeah, I thought I'd settle into the writing style of it, but I didn't. That being said, I can see how raw and powerful this is and why people might enjoy it. I saw, when I was just on Goodreads, I saw that somebody had likened it to Maggie Nelson, and I also think when I've heard about that writing, I've also thought that's something I wouldn't get on with. So I think this is more a thing of just like, I didn't click with the writing of it. But yeah, a terrible life, and to have to retell it and relive it in a way to get this memoir across must have been horrific. But for me, the writing just didn't work for me, which is a shame. And I know there's going to be a lot of people, like when I hauled this book and when I talked about the fact that I'll be reading it this month, so many people were like, oh my god, it absolutely broke me, it's so emotional, etc, etc. But yeah, I just didn't get on with it, sadly. So 2 stars, and finished that. So now the only book I have on the go is Unwell Women by Eleanor Cleghorn. I'm not going to start another book. I'm going to read a little bit more of this. I will start another book. I'm not going to read this because this is non-fiction and I'm quite enjoying sort of reading a chapter about specific things and then going to something else. I think that's the way this is going to work with this book. So I probably won't finish it this week. I definitely won't finish it this week. But this is where I'm going to go to next whilst I dry my hair. And then I'm going to go and see my cousin and her new baby. Oh, but first of all, I must film my best books of the year so far. So that's the plan for the next hour or so. So read a bit of this while I'm drying my hair, film that, go and see the baby, come home, bit more reading. So I'll probably pick something up a bit later on. Oh hi, it's bath time. So I didn't plan on starting, put the bath mat down guys, I didn't plan on starting another book today, Sunday, but I'm about to get in the bath, and I love to read in the bath, but one thing I don't love to read in the bath is big hardback books, because I just felt we're really on a tilt, aren't we? It's because I couldn't fit the entire thing on the windowsill. So I'm not going to be reading Unwell Women. I have read a chapter of Unwell Women today, but I'm going to start on, because I'm going swimming, or not, I'm going in the bath, at the pond, swimming at the Hampstead Ladies Pond. Collection of essays and, yeah, essays. I thought it was short stories, but just essays. So I'm going to read, oh my god, and they're done seasonally as well. That is so exciting. So I'm going to read A Note on the Pond, and then the first essay, which is called Cold Shocks and Mud Beards by Esther Freud. So I'm going to read that, and then I'm going to get out of the bath, and David's going to get in the bath, and then we're probably going to watch Love Island, and then I'll probably go to bed. And I've got the end of I've got two half bubble bars here. Oh my god, this one's amazing. This one's called Matcha Roll, and it smells just like chai latte. It's very spicy. And this one is called Lemon Crumble. I don't feel like, it smells like lemon in the shop, but I feel like the lemon's disappearing. Anyway, I'm going to use that Lemon Crumble and read. So, better get out my clothes. If you wouldn't mind leaving me be, please. I'm home from work. There's a little shoulder and a little snotty boy in the background there, isn't there?
There is a little.
I like you being a little snotty boy in the background. It's cute. Today, I'm just home from work. On my lunch break today, I finished at the pond, swimming at the Hampstead Ladies Pond. It's not Wednesday, Tuesday today. God, my reading's going very well. I think this might be my 4th book I've read in a week. Go me. I'm just checking for actual statistics on that. You'll all know. Yeah, this will be my 4th book. I enjoyed this. I gave it 3 stars. It's hard, isn't it, with essay and collections and short story collections, because there's always going to be, because it's such a variety of people, there's always going to be things in there that you like more than you... There's always going to be people, like essays and short stories, that you don't enjoy as much as the ones that you do enjoy. However, as a whole, I thought this was very well pulled together. I like things that are done seasonally, and this is split into seasons, starting with winter, which I think is my favourite season, David. Yeah. I mean, it feels like we're living in a bit of a perpetual winter at the moment, but I think in general, people say they don't like short days and stuff. David, I like the short days.
I know you do.
Do you like them?
I like the short days as well.
I like the short days. So yeah, and then talk about various different people, various different women who have swum in the Hampstead Ladies Pond. I feel very into it. It feels like a sort of unachievably mythical place for me to go to. Number one, because I'm not a very good swimmer, am I, David?
No.
I can swim. It's very slow and, let's say, arduous. And I'm not a very confident swimmer either. So to go somewhere where I imagine you can't touch the bottom, never once did they mention whether or not you can touch the bottom in this. I don't think I'd get on very well. But I'd love to go and have a little look around. So yeah, I thought it was good. The good ones I thought were really good. There was a few that I found a bit dry, but overall, if you're into your swimming or your wild swimming, I think you'd really like it. There's one more of these collections. So I've already read In the Kitchen and At the Pond, and then there's In the Garden. I was thinking of buying it for my dad for his birthday, but I buy him books with the best of intentions. He doesn't fucking touch them. He just reads. What's he read, David?
What's that?
What does my dad read?
Oh, cheap science fiction.
Cheap. He's got a Kindle, and all he reads is like cheap science fiction. Sometimes finishes it and starts it all over again. Like literally the same book just as he's finished. What a guy. So that's that finished. So I'm still listening to The Secret Diary of a British Muslim, aged 13 3/4. I've actually listened to quite a lot of it today. The chapters are very long because they're done in years. So the chapters are like 1997 and it'll be like an hour and 50 minutes long. But I stayed later at work today because I've got to finish earlier because I've got my dentist appointment tomorrow. So while I was doing some work, I was listening to that, and then I listened to it on the way home, and I'm very much enjoying it. It's very funny. There was a bit... So there was these young lads, so they're 14 or 15, yeah. And they have to talk about, they have a special assembly where the boys get separated from the girls, and all the boys are asked to get into twos and ask what they look for in a partner. So these two lads, Tez, the narrator, is talking about the things he looks for in a partner, and he's like, well, I want him to be like a boy who's really good at like playing computer games. I want him to have a computer so then we can play computers. And then the teacher goes to the first person who isn't Tez, and he says, what do you look for in a partner? And he just goes, big tits!
Oh God.
So he said, then they realised it was supposed to be about girls and about not objectifying girls, but the whole thing was about objectifying girls. So I'm listening to that, and it's very funny. I think you'd quite like it as well, David.
Yeah.
His delivery, he's like, got myself a new crush, haven't I? Britney Spears. He's very interested.
Oh, I would like that.
Because it's sort of like the ages that when we were growing up as well.
We can relate.
There's a lot of stuff that we can remember.
Awesome.
He often thinks that people are poisoning people. It seems quite an obsession. He says that. Also, there's quite a lot in there about football as well, and he's talking about the World Cup final when it was France and Brazil, and Ronaldo wasn't very well.
Yeah.
And they brought him on, even though he said he wasn't going to play.
Yeah.
And he was like, I think he'd been poisoned. But he's already said he thought Princess Diana had been poisoned. So he thinks everyone's been poisoned. But I'm enjoying it, and I think others will too. But yeah, hasn't finished yet. So yeah, so I've already got Unwell Women on the go at the moment, so I'm just 69 pages into that, but just finished a bit of non-fiction, reading non-fiction, listening to non-fiction, so I thought it might be time to pick up a bit of fiction. So I think I'm going to pick up The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Delilah Harris and start on this. So thoughts as they come in. What's for dinner, David?
We've got halloumi sticks with potatoes.
He means skewers.
Skewers. Potato halloumi skewers with some like wedges and a nice ranch coleslaw, one of our favourites.
Yeah.
And like a chopped pepper salsa type thing. which would be very nice.
Cool. I'll probably see you tomorrow now. I don't think there'll be, I doubt I'll be finishing any books tonight. So bye. Say bye, David.
Bye.
She's coming home. She's coming home. She's coming. Minnie's coming home. She's not going to be very happy about that. Hello, Wednesday it is. I've just got back from the dentist and hygienist. Never had a hygienist appointment before. Had 2 cancelled because of the pandemic and never been to a hygienist before. Been to a dentist, but not a hygienist. My God. My teeth feel cleaner than they've ever felt in my entire life. It was wonderful. So I just got home. No more reading has been done yet, but got home. 4 books have arrived for me in the post today, which is very exciting. Plus, today is Wednesday and it's the semi-final of the Euros. Look at me talking as if I know about football. It's the semi-final of the Euros. David's gone to the pub to watch it, so I'm alone for the evening, which is lovely. So I will continue to read more of The Other Black Girl. I read 10 pages on my lunch today. My little Tootsie's got a bit of blister on. And I want to read more, so I'm gonna have a bath, wash my hair in the bath, which is a lovely treat. I like to wash my hair in the bath and listen to a good read podcast. So I'm gonna do that and have a good read. But I thought I would show you the books that have arrived today, because these are obviously going straight on the TBR. The strange one is that I've bought a cookbook. This is Vietnamese by Yuan Lu. What a wonderful idea Jamie Oliver's had. He has quite good a few ideas. He started a cookbook book club, and it's a closed Facebook group, and you ask to be a member, and every month, Minnie, what? She's shouting. They celebrate a cookbook. Now, I love cookbooks and I own a lot of cookbooks, but my problem is that I tend to buy the ones which are popular, so I don't get sort of to see the, do I want to say cult side of the, but like the less sort of mainstream ones. So I buy a lot of Jamie Oliver cookbooks. Green Roasting Tin, I guess, is that mainstream? I love that. That's my favourite cookbook ever. But yeah, I buy a lot of like those sort of ones. So this I thought was a really great opportunity. It's going to be a different cookbook every month, and they're going to celebrate by cooking from it and get the author of the book, the cook involved. And yeah, so this was Vietnamese was the one for this month. I mean, already before I've even looked in it, I've literally just got it out of the packaging. It's pink with this beautiful gold foiling on it. So Jamie Oliver was talking about 3 recipes that Ewan had kindly given the group like free access to, and all of them were meat recipes. And I was like, I'm sure Vietnamese food isn't all about meat. And then when he was flicking through the book, he was like, yeah, so me and me and me and me. And I was like, oh, well, there's no point in me buying it if there's going to be loads of meat on there. So I messaged the group and said, does anyone, I'm a vegetarian, and does anyone know if this book is worthy of a vegetarian buying it? And Ewan herself got back to me and said, yeah, there's a whole section on veggies, which is very exciting. And also there's lots of things you can swap out. So for instance, I've just opened here and seen pork udon. I'm sure you could swap that out for tofu udon and things like that. So yeah, but she also said in the message to me, message me if you've got any questions, which is really exciting. So yeah, can't wait to get cooking with this. You have a little look through it. Change my battery first, then we'll look through it. Battery change, let's have a look. So if we look for the because I'm sure, already I've just opened it and seen fresh salad rolls, although there are prawns in those salad rolls. Let's go to the, oh God, proper salads, Vietnamese style. I love salads. Let's see. This is shaking beef with watercress, salad and tomato rice. So that just looks like a bit of big chicken salad. Caramelised pork belly slices. Okay, let's definitely go to the veggie section. So here we go. Oh, this is it. This is the veggie section. Sharing vegetables. So tofu pillows, interested. Tomatoes and broccoli in fish sauce, but I'm sure you could use, oh look, use soy sauce instead of fish sauce to make this dish vegan. So that looks delicious. Runner beans, love runner beans. Celery leaves with garlic, that looks very nice. Sauteed mushrooms and Jerusalem artichokes, love mushrooms. Soy aubergines and Thai basil. David's gone right off of aubergines, they make his mouth feel a bit funny. Oh, this is nice. Kale with shallots, ginger, kimchi and orzo. That looks very good. Fried watercress, pea shoots and tahini. Again, very nice. These all look very fresh and delicious. Hot and fiery greens with anchovies, so obviously do without the anchovies. Summer tomatoes, celery leaves and Thai basil. God, that looks nice. That looks right up my bloody alleyway. Oh, something I've not heard of. Chayotes, this word. And garlic. God, this looks nice. Oh, fried courgette flowers with prawns and chives, but the fried courgette flowers look lovely. Right, so that's the veggie section. I'll have a look through the rest of it. But yeah, oh God, croissant pudding with coconut and banana at the end. Whoa. So yes, very excited about that. Then I've got 3 here, which I believe all to be from the publisher. So let's open them and see what we've got in here. Because as I said, they're going straight on the old TBR. So I've got, oh, this is exciting. The 5 Wounds, which is lovely. This is from Serpent's Tail. And oh, this is exciting. So it says here, look at the front cover, beautiful. It's Holy Week in the town of Las Penas, New Mexico. An unemployed 33-year-old Amadeo Padilla is to play Jesus in the Good Friday procession. He is preparing feverishly for this role when his 15-year-old daughter, Angel, shows up pregnant on his doorstep. The 5 Wounds spans the baby's first year as 5 generations of the Padilla family converge. Amadeo's mother, Yolanda, reeling from a recent discovery, Angel's mother, who Angel isn't speaking to, and Tio Tive, keeper of the family's history. Each brings expectations that Amadeo, who often solves his problems with a beer in hand, doesn't think he can live up to. This sounds very exciting, so like a family saga. Yeah, so that's going straight on the old TBR. It's lovely to get books and to put them straight on the TBR. Right, next up, live opening we've got going on here. Put that over there, we can put them straight in the bin. Recycling, I mean. Then I've got, oh, this is exciting. Black Teacher by Beryl Gilroy. This is published by Faber, and it's actually got a foreword by Bernardine Evaristo. So this is this is a non-fiction book about Beryl Gilroy, who is the writer of the book. She left British Guiana in 1952 and moved to London. Faced with the racism of post-war England, her new life didn't turn out as expected, but her belief in the power of education inspired a revolutionary career. Vivid, entertaining and unflinching, Gilroy's memoir is a rediscovered classic. Black Teacher is not only a rare first-hand insight into the Windrush generation, but a testament to how one extraordinary woman's courage, humour and spirit transcended her era. So yeah, I am pumped about reading that, and I know my sister will be keen to read that after me, so that's exciting. And then the last one, oh nice, okay, this is a proof copy of Conversations on Love. So this is the, oh, it's lovely looking, isn't it? And it's got a celebration of love in all its forms. So it's essays on love, and it's got in particular, so the ones that I am excited by are Candice Carty-Williams on friendship, Roxane Gay on redefining romance, Philippa Perry on falling in love slowly, Lisa Taddeo on the loneliness of loss, and Dolly Alderton on vulnerability, amongst others. So yeah, that's a selection of essays. I've been having a really nice time reading this selection of essays recently. So yeah, there we go. They are going straight on the old, oh, and then when's this out? Does it say when it's out yet? Does it say when it's out yet? 15th of July, so not long. So if you fancy Conversations on Love, that's out now. I think these 2 are out already. So yeah, so they're going straight on the TBR, which is very exciting. What I also should have said is that David's gone out to watch the football and he's left me, love you my plop, see you later, with a bag of orange giant buttons. So I think, bath now, read a bit of The Other Black Girl, double cleanse, was going to do a hair mask, but I'm actually getting my hair cut on Friday, so I think I'll leave that. And yeah, maybe I'll watch a few episodes of Lost, maybe I'll do a bit of reading, but I thought you'd be interested to see the books that have arrived and are going straight on the TBR. So it's Friday. There's going to be no books finished today, no books arriving today either. The post has been. Well, I'll tell you what did come though. My Paper Gang, which is a subscription to stationery I get, and I got these 2 really cute patches that I'm going to put on a t-shirt. One that says "Be nice," and the other one that says "Keep going." So I'm going to put those on a t-shirt, which will be lovely. I've got other stuff as well. One of these pens. God, how exciting was getting one of the, you're not going to be able to see that, but it's one of those pencils that's got different colour. You get it, it's different colours in there. And a pair of scissors and some little sticky notes. Good one this month, good one. There it is, lovely. So yeah, so no books have arrived today. So there's nothing really to sort of sum up or talk about in terms of today, but this is the end of the week now, so I'm filming this on Thursday. I've just finished work and I'm about to head over to my goddaughter's house because it's her 6th birthday today, so I'm going over there to give her a present. Actually, I bought a collection of Isadora Moon books, and then I've got her some little bits so she can dress up as Isadora Moon as well. So I've got some stripy tights, a little bat costume, so yeah, so hopefully she'll be very pleased with that. So I'm going to head over there, and then we're going to my mum and dad's for dinner tonight, and we're going to play board games. So yeah, there's going to be no more reading today. So just wanted to say, Read 4 books this week, so that's good. I've read Leave the World Behind, Lives Like Mine, Heartberries, a memoir, and At the Pond Swimming at Hampstead Swimming at Hampstead Ladies Pond. I've got 2 books on the go. So I've got Unwell Women, A Journey Through Medicine and Myth in a Man-Made World. So I'm 132 pages into that this much, so that will be finished. If not next week, then maybe the week after. But yeah, I'm sort of taking my time with it a bit. Although I have been reading it. I read quite a lot of it last night while David was at the football. And then The Other Black Girl by Zakiya Delilah Harris. This, I think, I'm getting really into this. And I think it's going to be quite difficult to actually put this down because it's like thriller and pacey. Oh, can you hear Minnie meowing? Then, still on the TBR. So these are ones that I had on the TBR at the beginning of the week. You would have thought I would have set this up, but hey, live happening. So at the beginning of the week, I had The Mermaid of Black Conch by Monique Roffey. That had arrived and I included that. And then Flapjacks and Feudalism, Social Mobility and Class in the Archers. Shuggie Bay by Douglas Stewart. Where the Forest Meets the Stars by Glendy Vanderar. And The Miseducation of Evie Epworth by Mattson Taylor. These are both book club books. I'm going to hang on to those for a little bit later on in the month so that they're fresh. And then 3 books that have arrived this week that have made it onto the TBR are Conversations on Love by Natasha Lunn, Black Teacher by Beryl Gilroy, and The 5 Wounds by Kirsten Valdez-Quaid. So yes, the TBR is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it was 10 at the beginning of the week, so it's gone down 2. I don't know how that's happened. It's happened. So yeah, let me know how you feel about this wrap-up style. I'm definitely going to continue it for the whole of July, and then we'll see how we get on. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed a little reading vlog, and I'll see you on Sunday for another video, but I'll see you next Friday for the reading wrap-up of the week up until then. Bye! What do you think of my glasses chain as well? Do you think it's like, David says I look like a little cute librarian? Bye!